The Los Angeles Convention Center plays host to the giant LA Auto Show. The stage is set as automakers from around the world display their new cars, concepts, trucks, and SUVs for the masses of the Southland. So whether you're serious about cars or just curious what's rolling down tomorrow's roads, sit back, buckle up, and hang on as Fox Sports takes you on a ride around the LA Auto Show like you've never seen. The LA Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by OurAutoExpert.com. Welcome to the LA Auto Show. Hello everybody, I'm Dietrich. Well, we're here at the Los Angeles Convention Center, but we're just a stone's throw away from where the Lakers, Kings, and Clippers battle their foes. But we have our own battle right here, as the world's automakers have descended upon LA to show their latest wares. And we have our Fox Sports Auto Show team, Nick Miles and Mike Caudill, here to show you all the new metal and give you some perspective. But first, there's been a lot of changes to this year's LA Auto Show. Here to talk about it is David Fortin from the show. All right, David, let's talk about some of those changes.
Yeah. The show started in 1907, 99 cars, 2 of them were electric. And over the 115 years, we've finally gotten back to a place where innovation and technology has caught back up. So we're seeing EV vehicles across the show floor.
You have tracks on the floor.
Yeah, so the show continues to evolve as the automakers' wishes evolve and consumers' wishes evolve. So we have Ford, Nissan, and Hyundai. They've got their tracks inside the halls right next to their exhibit. We've got a co-located track outside, a special EV test ride track powered by Electrify America. So a bunch of different brands are out there.
But when it comes to an auto show, really, it's all about touch and feel, right? You can't do that on the internet.
Yeah, the auto show's core product is seeing the latest models, looking at them from all angles, getting inside, and then if you think you might be interested, getting a test ride or a test drive. It takes about 5 hours to explore the whole show if you really want to see everything. And in addition to the 2 main halls, we got stuff going on outside. There's the incredible garage aftermarket, which is beneath South Hall.
Thanks, David. Well, I know a lot of people are here for the cars. Nick Miles found one over at Dodge, and it's quite shocking.
Lots of really loud and expressive colors, and that must mean that we're in the Dodge booth, and you want to see something that's really loud and expressive. Say hello to the Dodge Hornet, the small car with a big attitude, and it actually has that Dodge DNA. Designed muscle hood, letterbox design in the grille. Vehicle width tail lamps. The RT is what some might call a PHEV, but it's all about performance. V8 level of torque and exclusive power shot mode. 25 more horsepower. 30 miles on EV, 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds.
It's really the gateway to muscle for our customers. It's a way to enter into the brand, be a part of the brotherhood of muscle, and do it in a Dodge way. We really want to make sure that people that get into this format really experience that Dodge performance. Overall, the vehicle has kind of this speed to it, very clean body side, but just a silhouette that's more coupe-like. So really, it's a UV, but it's really a performance UV for us.
The RT is called an RT because it is the most powerful version of the new Hornet, 285 horsepower. 0 to 60 in 6.1. It will be the quickest and the fastest version of the vehicle in its class for under $30,000. And the GT, well, that vehicle will start under $40,000. They'll both be in market sometime in early 2023.
Well, Nick, that's a ton of horsepower out of that Dodge Hornet. Speaking of horsepower, I've got this for you right here. This is the all-new 2024 Ford Mustang, and you can't talk about high performance without talking about 7 generations of Mustang. Of course, it first came to market in 1964, and they keep innovating with one of America's most premier sports cars. Now, this one right here is the EcoBoost motor, and you're gonna get a lot of MPG out of this one. It'll have the same great performance, but it's gonna be a little bit more on the entry-level side of the Ford Mustang. Now, really cool little fun fact, all iterations of the new Mustang will come with their new drift brake technology, which is amazing. Everyone's getting into racing. They love to be able to drift the Mustang, and they're gonna do that, but you can't come to an auto show and talk Ford Mustang without talking about the GT. This is the 5-liter right here, and although they haven't announced horsepower yet, The best feature on this, of course, is that convertible top, and being here in Los Angeles, there's nothing that says Mustang more than a convertible. And you know what? We're gonna close it out with this, guys. I saw this in Detroit when Ford launched it. It is the all-new Dark Horse. They're aiming for 500 horsepower with this awesome Mustang right here. What are you gonna get? A whole host of aftermarket features, starting on the rear with a special spoiler on the back. You're gonna get staggered wheels. They're gonna be low to the ground, performance package, special paint, and of course you can see those awesome darked out windows. Starting price of the Mustang, you're gonna be looking at right around $28,000 for that entry-level version.
Coming up, Toyota introduces a 57-mile-a-gallon Prius. Porsche shows its rally muscle with its 911 Dakar and is the world ready for a 2,000-plus horsepower hydrogen fuel cell-powered supercar. We're about to find out that and more as Fox Sports brings you the LA Auto Show, presented by OurAutoExpert.com. The LA Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by OurAutoExpert.com. Welcome back. Well, over here at Hyundai, they're celebrating tremendous success with their Ioniq 5, but they're not stopping there. Behind me, the Ioniq 6. Here to talk more about it is Ola BC Boyle. Ola BC, you have another EV. Tell us about it.
We do. It is the second EV off our eGMP platform. And what we love about the Ioniq 6, it is an aerodynamic vehicle. It has got a CD of 0.22.
Okay, now I have to stop you.
Yes.
0.22.
Yes.
How low is 0.22
So,
relative to other cars?
The best production vehicle is 0.20. Ours is 0.22 because we have designed everything to take the wind around the vehicle. Not only does the streamlined design look beautiful, but it's designed for increased AER on Ioniq 5, where we have a great AER of 303. On this one, we're going to have 350 plus. You take the vehicle off the same platform and you've increased the all-electric range.
Okay, let's talk about the interior. You have lots of fun stuff to talk about. Let's start with the lights.
Oh my gosh, the lights are the best thing. On the airbag cover, you'll see 4 pixel lights. You know, when you're charging, it'll tell you all sorts of information by those pixel lights in the car. Then the ambient lighting, it's speed control. So while you're going fast, you will see that it's raising in the door trim. And then we've moved all the buttons off the door trim and we've put it in the center of the vehicle, but it gives you more room and lets you see and feel that ambient lighting.
I'm not sure that people at home realize the flexibility that an EV offers when you consider you don't have that center stack issue. You don't have the tunnel.
You don't have the tunnel. So now you have a wheelbase that's as large as the Palisade, which is our large SUV, but you still have the exterior that you can manage.
Well, there you go. The new Ioniq 6. Ola BC, thank you.
Thank you.
Just outside the LA Auto Show, Toyota have brought me to a secret location to show me the brand new 2023 Toyota Prius and Prius Prime. Here's the first piece of big news. It's not ugly, and Toyota have done a great job in designing this vehicle. The second piece of headline that really surprises me is this gets 57 miles a gallon in Toyota's estimates. And on top of that, there's some big changes in this vehicle. In the back, there is no crossbar in the rear window. And then these headlights, well, they've changed too. In fact, they weren't possible a couple of years ago because the law didn't allow them. And Toyota say you won't recognize this in any way. The drive is more dynamic and more exciting. The Prius actually has 196 horsepower, and that allows it to actually go 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds. There's a panoramic glass roof or a solar roof. The wheels range from 17s to 19s. Little car, big screen, up to 12.3 inches of screen on the inside. And this screen actually has the ability to give you live updates. This vehicle has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it has the accident notification system. Toyota also revealed a plug-in hybrid version of the Prius at the same time. This is the Prius Prime. Now, the last version did about 25 miles on a single charge of electricity alone. They're saying the new Prius Prime will do about 50% more. Now with the math, that's 37.5 miles on a single charge of electricity. But you know Toyota always do better than their estimations. So let's say it'll probably do around 40 miles on a single charge of electricity.
Auto shows are as much about entertainment as they are about the cars themselves. And for consumers that come down to the LA Auto Show, you're going to be greeted before you even get inside the convention center with the experience of how you get your tickets. And over my shoulder, Ford Motor Company is using their ProPower Plus, their onboard powering system with 9.6 kilowatts of battery technology to power your new ticket booth. So as consumers make their way into the show, they're going to be able to experience this right here, making it super easy to gain access into the auto show. Once you're in, there's a lot of other fun things to experience. Auto shows are as much about entertaining as they are about cars on carpet. And what's really great about being here at the LA Auto Show is what Toyota is doing. They're calling this the Sports Festival. Not only do they have cars, but they're highlighting their partnership with the US Paralympics. I'm going to take you around the show right now and give you the top 5 things we found that are fun to do with families, starting with this: shooting a basketball from a wheelchair. And number 2, test driving RC cars. Here in the Volkswagen booth, we actually have a chance to test drive an RC car, but guess what? It's all about interconnectivity. This car, it's out in the lobby. And number 3, if you haven't experienced the amazing acceleration of an electric car, well, here on the auto show floor, you get to do just that. And number 4, nothing says car culture more than art. And we are here in one of the most incredible spots here at the auto show. This is Telfer Designs. And of course, Kelly Telfer is one of the most renowned painters in the auto industry. Kelly himself is teaching kids and adults how to paint. Starting at 8 years old and up, you can come down and he's going to show you how to do that. And number 5 is really close to my heart, and this is one of the showstoppers for everyone that comes to the LA Auto Show and other auto shows across the country. Subaru loves pets, and the best part is, from the time the show starts to the time it closes, you can come down to this auto show, right buddy? And you can adopt a puppy. So there you go, fun things to do at the LA Auto Show. Most importantly, saving a little life like this cute little fur ball right here. Yeah.
Well, how about this? Look at this hot new Italian stallion. This is the all-new 2023 Alfa Romeo Tonale. And guess what? It has 30 miles on a charge with its plug-in hybrid. Plus, it can recharge the battery on its own. 285 horsepower, and it's coming out very soon. Look for the all-new Tonale. Coming up, Toyota has a new small crossover electric concept. VW shows LA how to go surfing with their Concept ID Buzz. And we find out the latest in autonomous driving. It's all coming to you as Fox Sports brings you the LA Auto Show, presented by OurAutoExpert.com. The LA Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by OurAutoExpert.com. Welcome back. Now, one of the many issues with the car manufacturers has been the supply chain crisis. This Nissan Ariya, it got delayed a few times, along with many other cars. The good news is they got the problem solved, and here to talk about it is Aditya Girard from Nissan. Aditya, what's the good news?
The good news is that the car is going to be here in the next couple of weeks, and we're very excited to have the dealers and the customers experience the car.
I know there's been a lot of anticipation on this electric. It's a small SUV, right?
This is a crossover that consumers will buy when they're looking for the space, the versatility, and the complete package. So the reason why the Ariya stands out, it makes the transition from internal combustion engines to EVs very seamless.
Thanks, Aditya. Well, the Ariya isn't the only new car here. They also have the Versa. The Nissan Versa, it is Nissan's entry sedan for the Nissan lineup.
This is the 2023 Nissan Versa. It is our entry-level sedan. It gives you great value with a price that starts just under $16,000, up to 40 miles per gallon on the highway, so people who are looking for great fuel efficiency, but with a lot of features. So for 2023, we've restyled the vehicle, but also gave it a lot of great standard safety equipment. So automatic forward and rear emergency braking, blind spot warning, so many great features that people are looking for. Even in a vehicle like Versa, at the the entry end of the segment, they want a lot of technology, they want safety, they want all of the features that make their life easier.
Well, there you go, the Nissan Versa.
You know, one of the best features here at the LA Auto Show is what they call automobility. It's where companies come and they showcase modern technologies of the future. And we're also talking about electrification. We're here in the EV Go booth, part of automobility. Now, this is what's interesting. Everyone's talking about electric cars, but what about the infrastructure itself?
At GM, we actually are going all in on electric. You probably have heard about a lot of the products that are here. We actually have the Cadillac Lyriq right to my right. And so we understand that in order to actually achieve an all-electric future, you not only have to invest in the products that are actually going to be in demand for customers, but you have to invest in the ecosystem that's going to enable mass adoption. We're spending nearly $750 million on infrastructure, everything from home charging to workplace. In order for folks to make the switch, they need to know where to charge and when to charge, and we actually are partnering with a number of different companies like EVgo to be able to make that happen.
What is General Motors doing to help make the system better on our open highways?
And we're going to deploy 3,250 fast chargers in metropolitan areas through 2025, as well as EVgo for highway fast charge, where we're going to deploy more than 2,000 fast charging ports along America's highways. We understand that enabling this ecosystem is going to be key in helping to enable mass adoption of EV.
There you have it, guys. General Motors believes the future is all electric. It's going to be bright. They're going all in, all their chips in the electric world.
You know, when you get a brand new vehicle from the dealership, you want to personalize it. And Stellantis, formerly Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, is one of the most personalized vehicles in America. So you can either drive the vehicle away from the dealership as it is, you can order it and personalize it before you get it, or after you get it, you can personalize it with their Mopar parts division. We talked to Ralph Gilles, who overlooks all of their brands, and asked him, how do you design some of these vehicles so people can actually make them their own?
We are those people. I mean, a lot of the designers and even the engineers behind vehicles like the Wrangler are enthusiasts themselves. We actually make parts easy to remove and put on, and we work very closely with the aftermarket, and so we give them the drawings. We actually literally hand over the data so they can get a head start on the parts. But I see cars like the Wranglers, once you got good bones, you got fundamentally cool car to start with, it's a canvas. And we kind of nudge that along with cool colors, so we keep adding really cool things to it. And there's even more coming, new technology coming in a few years. Best-selling plug-in hybrid happens to be a Wrangler in the US.
So one of the scariest things, Ralph, I think you've done is Wagoneer. And the reason I think it's really scary is because you had to pioneer the third luxury brand in America.
We wanted to create a vehicle that looked like it'd been around a while. That's why it's not so trying to be futuristic. We didn't want a spaceship-looking thing. Very American, very bold, very stately. And then on the interior, it's a story of craftsmanship. I mean, the amount of detail, and we were given a lot of freedom. We really put the best materials we've ever seen anywhere, and the customers we hoped would come are coming.
Now, one of my favorite small cars has always been the Subaru Impreza. Why? Well, they're just so solid. Here to talk more about it is Todd Hill from Subaru. What makes the Subaru so solid?
The Subarus are built from our Subaru Global platform, and it's built to the highest safety standards to deliver great safety performance. And part of that is strength of the structure, which, as an impact of that, makes the car incredibly solid, great driving, great handling car as well. Subarus have a long history of being used in very harsh and rugged environments. So the cars have always been engineered to be incredibly durable and incredibly reliable for our buyers.
Let's talk about the interior.
With the Impreza, we now have, for the first time, our 11.6-inch tablet-style display, and it's got wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and connected vehicle services, loads of technology. It really adds to the experience in driving the car and making it fun to drive and fun to be in.
All right, thanks, Todd. Well, there you go, the new Subaru Impreza. Up next, Dodge lovers will be drooling over this concept. Lexus introduces its all-electric RZ, and Ford expands their Bronco lineup. It's all coming to you as Fox Sports brings you the LA Auto Show, presented by ourautoexpert.com. The LA Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by ourautoexpert.com. And welcome back. Well, there's no question that the automakers here in LA are all charged up on electrics, and we have a new one here from Toyota. It's the BZ compact SUV concept. And here to talk more about it is Ian Cartabiano. He's the designer of the car. It's a beautiful product. What were you trying to accomplish?
Really wanted to make EVs cool and really convey, yeah, it's great for the environment, it's where we're going for the future, but can we visually show that this vehicle is extremely fun to drive? And so we tried to show that with really taking some sharp lines, some really dramatic angles, beautiful surfacing, and wrapping it around these huge wheels that are pushed around to the corners to convey that, yeah, EVs are good for the environment, but they can be fun to drive.
We've come a long way from headlights. Headlights, you know, the big old headlights, now it gives you as a designer a lot more flexibility.
We have so much more freedom to design lighting, and we can use it as a design tool to highlight shape, to convey messaging, and just to look more futuristic. The front lighting is very thin, and it highlights what we call this hammerhead face. We've designed it to be more aggressive, sharper, more sporty, and on the rear it has its own really cool expression.
Let's talk about the interior.
The great advantage of electric cars is we can really take the packaging and open it up, create this bathtub image. The instrument panel becomes thin, the seats are very open and light, there's a lot of space for driver and passenger and rear passenger, and it allows us to put focus on the user technology. So we're able to do these really cool screens. They're very user-friendly, but they're also the home to this really cool AI agent in the car that we call UE, that lives inside the vehicle and it actually connects driver, front passenger to the rear passengers. It's really a way to involve everybody in the vehicle into the driving experience and the exploring experience.
Well, there you go, the BZ compact SUV concept. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Dor.
Well, that's a bright color. Anyway, the first electrified vehicle for Lexus was in the early 2000s and was an RX. It was a 400h, but since then they have come up with this. This will be the very first electric BEV Lexus, and this is the RZ. Now, the RZ will do about 220 miles on a single charge, and this is quite a significant vehicle because it helps Lexus become a carbon neutral company. And that is one of the things they're aiming for in the future. Now you can see by looking around this vehicle, it stops getting the spindle grille up front and the whole vehicle becomes a spindle vehicle. And you can see it's about aerodynamics and not so much about venting the ICE engine, because there is, of course, no ICE engine. Now, this vehicle has a new kind of steering. It's drive-by-wire. It also has direct force system, and that direct force system gives it an electric motor at the rear wheels and an electric motor at the front wheels, which means it's all-wheel drive. It also gets some cool lightweight technology. It's going to use laser screws, laser bonding of the body, and some glues which actually make it lightweight. There's also some Lexus safety systems and a new color, a cool interior blue that's coming on this new RZ. You can expect to see this on the roads sometime 2023.
The year was 1982, and my mom and dad wanted my sister and I to experience all the wonderful things that America has to offer. So what did we do? We bought a Volkswagen Westphalia. First came out in 1950 was the Volkswagen Microbus. Now in 2022, over in Europe, this is on the road. This is the ID Buzz, and it is all electric. Now, Volkswagen's doing things to shake up the industry. One, they're going retro. They're giving you a little bit of nostalgia with this ID Buzz right here. But they're also integrating in moderate advancements in technology. You're gonna get a full battery system on this. You're gonna be able to charge in 30 seconds from 5 to nearly 80%. That's great technology that's hitting the road in Europe and will be making its way to the US here in the next few years. We wanted to find out a little bit more, so we brought in Mark Gillies, who is the Director of Public Relations for the brand. Okay, this thing is cool. First, color, inside, interior, range. What makes this thing so special?
I think it just looks fantastic. I mean, it's got a real happy spirit. Looks a little bit like the old bus, I should say. Very short overhangs, great interior space. And the great thing about it is, although it's a big, tall vehicle, it's got a low center of gravity, and you can just sling it into a roundabout. It's really good fun to drive.
And in Europe right now, we're seeing this everywhere, right? So people are really getting excited about it. Tell us about the battery side of what makes this special.
So this is an 82 kilowatt hour battery. It's rear drive. Obviously there'll be some all-wheel drive versions later on. The US version comes in 2024. It's a longer wheelbase. It's going to have 3 rows of seats as opposed to 2, which this vehicle has.
And I'm going to put you on the spot, and you're going to tell me that that's not available yet, but when are we going to see a Volkswagen ID Buzz Westphalia?
I think there's going to be a camper van, probably 2025-ish.
All right, so there you guys go. I mean, Volkswagen blazing new trails with the ID Buzz. Get ready to see this hitting streets in the US in the very near future.
Coming up, the Porsche 911 Dakar shows it's ready for Baja. Nick goes cruising in Toyota's new Crown. And we talk about the latest in autonomous driving as Fox Sports brings you the LA Auto Show, presented by ourautoexpert.com. The LA Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by ourautoexpert.com. And welcome back. Well, you know, Porsche has a long history in racing, right? People have seen them on the tracks forever. They also have a long history in rally racing. And now they've introduced Porsche 911 Dakar, a production rally car that you can buy. Here to tell us more about it is Frank Weissman from Porsche. Frank,
how you doing?
You're making a rally car. Why?
It's a 911 that can go off-road. So like you said, there's a long history of Porsche's success in rallying. In 1984, a 911 with all-wheel drive, the first time to be used with all-wheel drive, won the Paris-Dakar Rally. And now, kind of paying tribute to that car, we have the 911 Dakar, which is based on the 911 GTS with all-wheel drive, but has 3 inches of extra ground clearance and a lift system that gives you a lot more ride height. It's got all-terrain tires that are made for off-road driving, sand, snow, any kind of a loose surface you can imagine, but it still feels like a 911 on the road. That's something that was very important to us, and even with these tires, which from the chunky profile may not look like they offer that, but the car really does still feel like a genuine 911, so the best of both worlds.
People can buy a rally package for their Porsche.
That's right, you can buy the rally design package that's reminiscent of that 1984 winning car, two-tone paint, in this case gentian blue and white with the gold and red stripes, and livery on the car, white wheels, black calipers, a white spoiler, so reminiscent of that car that won the famous rally almost 40 years ago.
Okay, last question here. I want to hear about the undercarriage. Did you have to, obviously the undercarriage gets completely beat up in a rally situation.
One of the things we did was we removed the center radiator that's usually at the front of a 911 GTS to allow for a bigger approach angle. This car is going to maybe go over some dunes, over some slopes, so you need the ground clearance and the angles to be able to do that.
All right, well there you go. Thank you, Frank. Wow, a rally car from Porsche that can find its way into your driveway.
All right, guys, well, I'm in a special place right now over in the Ford Motor Company booth, and you know what? There's been just this amazing influx of people getting into the world of overlanding. Now, I've had a chance to drive the Ford Bronco down in Texas at their off-rodeo program, but here at the Auto Show, what's great is they're giving consumers a chance to experience it from a passenger standpoint. You can see right here, consumers, they are having a blast. Don't take my word for it. Let's ask her, hey, are you guys having a great time inside this Bronco?
We're having a fabulous time. It's going awesome.
All right, so you know what that means, you guys? I need to get in behind one of these Broncos and experience it as well. So who better to do that with than the product communications manager of Ford Motor Company, Mike Levine? Why has overlanding become such a popular thing?
It lets you go places that you normally couldn't go before, with maybe yourself or with others. And it's not just in the city, it's not just on the same roads that you drive every single day, but entirely new, epic places.
And we're doing it right here. You guys can see right now, like, back tires off the ground, front tires off the ground. We've got a line that we're following. I mean, they're super capable. What about the technology? Like, are we running lockers right now? What are we doing to get over these boulders?
Yeah, so the technology has come so far from what it used to be. It used to be that, you know, you might control going off-road with a manual transmission, and that was really your greatest tool. Now what we've done is we've made it so it's all electronic. We've got easy to access front and rear lockers, and what those do is give you traction so that you're not slipping as you're going over big obstacles.
We are vertical right now. What makes it so special?
It's all the thought and care and experience that's gone into the Bronco from the Bronco team. The guys who've designed the Bronco are crazy smart, and the way they're crazy smart is they live this lifestyle, and that comes through in all the features and how the customers are using it.
It's amazing, you guys, to think that this Ford Bronco with so many decades of history is now here at the LA Auto Show, giving consumers a chance to really experience everything that a Ford Bronco has to offer.
Say hello to the Toyota Crown. If you've ever been to Japan, you'll be familiar with the name, but this is a very different Toyota Crown than you've ever seen before. The Crown has a rich historical past. It was the first mass-produced passenger car that Toyota ever made. The question might be, why bring it to the market now, when the economy calls for SUVs and smaller, more economical vehicles?
If we just brought the traditional large sedan, you're right, we're bringing what has been done. The reason we felt confident with bringing this is because we're trying something new and different. And that's really trying to straddle two categories of the sedan and the ever popular crossover/SUVs. And by being able to try to blend both of those worlds together and approach it in a new, fresh way, we still feel like there's opportunity and potential in that part of the market.
The US still sells 3.4 million sedans annually, and Toyota sold 20% of those in 2021. The one thing that the Crown definitely is polarizing when it comes to looks. From the front slim headlights to the piano black grille, which is surrounded by two air intakes. There's black cladding around the wheels, which come between 19s and 21s, and also a coupe-like roofline, and then a real sedan trunk. Those rear lights, very dynamic, and this vehicle rides much higher than the Camry. The interior is very different from the Avalon, which it replaces. The touchscreen is 12.3 inches and includes over-the-air updates and voice activation. The Crown actually has a whole number of drive modes. There is a little drive switch that allows you to change those drive modes, and you can go everything from eco to comfort to normal, sport, sport plus, and even customize your drive modes. Toyota puts a lot of energy into how the Crown drives. But this new American version is actually only available in all-wheel drive. The Toyota Crown is arriving in dealerships right now.
Well, it's hard to believe that autonomous driving has been tested since the 1920s. It really didn't become official until 2013 when the National Highway Transportation and Safety Administration made it a thing. Here to talk more about it and where it's going is one of my favorite tech gurus, Ariel Coro. Ariel, so where are we at?
Well, Tor, we are in a very precarious position. According to the Society of Automotive Engineers, there are 6 levels of autonomy. Right now, the vehicles on the road are only at level 2, which means that they can control basic functions like acceleration, some basic object avoidance, but the reality is that you still need a person behind the wheel.
I can imagine if I set my cruise control in an autonomous car at 90 and I get a ticket, that's on me. But what if the autonomous car does an infraction, say it changes lanes inadvertently? What happens then?
Right now, you're walking into dangerous territory because the reality is that it really depends on the laws on the different states and the amount of information that all these vehicles generate, who owns it, who can use it, and what's going to happen. There's not enough case precedent to really determine, and it really depends on the state and it really depends on the situation. So right now, it's all pretty dubious.
Now, what about privacy? Where are we with that?
Another dark cloud of gloom. It's amazing because these cars have sensors all over the place. We're talking about cameras, thermal detectors, lidars, all kinds of sensors, and all that data that is being generated is, gigabytes and gigabytes of data that who does it belong to? Well, the manufacturers, of course, will try to have you sign your life away. But the reality, what happens with all that data and the behavioral profiles that get created from it, well, it's really depending, again, on the state, on the law, and the case law that gets generated as things start to happen.
All right, all interesting stuff. Thanks, Ariel. Up next, Dodge tips its hand toward the future with this Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept. The Hyperion XP1 visits us from another planet. And we wrap up the show here in LA. Stay with us. The LA Auto Show on Fox Sports, presented by ourautoexpert.com. Welcome to outer space. You're looking at the Hyperion XP1. It's a hydrogen fuel cell electric car, and here to tell us more about it is Chris Clark from Hyperion. All right, Chris, tell us about this beast.
The Hyperion XP1 is a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. It has a range of over 1,000 miles, which runs on compressed hydrogen gas. The hydrogen goes through the fuel cell, which is a stacked set of catalyst-coated membranes, generates an electrical current, which turns the 4 motors in each wheel, and it'll have a top speed over 220 miles an hour and a 0 to 60 of 2.25 seconds.
Wow, 220 miles an hour. Now we're concerned about tires. I mean, that's melting tires, right?
Yeah, we're pushing the limits.
This is a concept, or is this for sale?
This is a prototype. It's not yet for sale. We expect to roll the first ones off to the public in 2024.
Currently, is there any other product like this?
This is the first hypercar. There are other hydrogen fuel cell vehicles on the road today.
And you have your own charging station that's mobile?
At the show this year, we launched our mobile refueling station, which can be deployed at nearly any location to take a crack at solving the infrastructure problem.
Folks, you gotta understand, this emits only water, right?
Yeah, the product of a hydrogen fuel cell is pure water vapor.
Well, okay, look for it in 2024, the Hyperion XP1.
Fast cars are something that we've come to get used to from Dodge. And it's an end of an era, not of fast cars, not of muscle cars, but of cars that are powered by gas engines, even for car companies like Dodge. And the last call of the gasoline engines is happening now with vehicles like this. This is the King Daytona. It's paying homage to those drag strip cars, those cars that ruled the streets in 1969, but they'll be replaced by vehicles like this. This is the Daytona. This is the future of Dodge. An all-electric vehicle. It will speed. It will sound amazing. And it will rule the drag strips of the future, but powered by electricity.
I'm an enthusiast, and a lot of us at Dodge are enthusiasts. We get it. We've built a lot of momentum with the current generation of rear drive, Hemi-powered, Hellcat supercharged, and it's hard to deny that momentum is strong. Those fans are watching everything we're doing right now, and I think they'll like where we're going here. And you could see we styled it to have a little comfort food Moparness to it, right? So when you look at the vehicle, you know it's from Dodge. There's definitely a tie back to the 68 Charger, and that's on purpose. We want them to go, wait a minute, it's got to be good if it looks that good, you know? So
it's electric.
Yes, it's fully electric. It'll rip your face off when you accelerate. It's going to do things that, as cool as they are, the gas cars just couldn't do. There's still this visceralness that we need. You know, cars to me are emotional. They're a statement. They're self-actualization. So we got to get it right. And you better fall in love with your car. It just can't be an A to B device.
I can't wait to see the ride that these brand new vehicles like the Dodge Daytona give us.
So who's ready for a segment on super fast cars? Well, I'm over at the Galpin Autosport booth here at the LA Auto Show, and I've got off-road vehicles behind me. That's because off-road vehicles are meant to go fast as well, like this Ford Bronco. You know what, we're thinking about Baja 1000, we're thinking about vehicles that go off-road, and these are all performance-based vehicles meant for just that. Ford recently launched its Bronco R. So you have the regular Bronco, now you have the Bronco R. This one has a 3-liter twin turbocharged engine under the hood. You're gonna get plenty of horsepower, and it's gonna be meant for a ton of speed. But I know, what you really want, you want cars that are meant for the streets. That means pavement pounding performance, like this Lotus Evora GT right here. Not only is this car meant for the track, but if you just look at it from an exterior standpoint, this thing is just stunning. But I know, you really want one of the most rarest vehicles here at the LA Auto Show, one of the most expensive vehicles here at the LA Auto Show. It's this right here. This is actually owned by Galpin Autosport owner Bo Bachman, and this is a Ford GT. Of course, limited volume, right? Starting price right around $500,000 for a starting price, but this one is fully customized. It's gonna make it just under $1 million. So what are you gonna get for that? Full carbon fiber exterior, under the hood, 3.5-liter twin turbocharged V6 pushing out 660 horsepower. You want fast? Here we go. Faster than the time that it takes me to put on my seatbelt. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
And I'm joined by my partners here, Mike and Nick. I thought it was a great event. I thought also we're seeing the future of auto shows, a lot of tracks.
Yeah, of course. You know, you're seeing a lot of people here integrating into the show. They want to be a part of the show. There's a lot of technology coming out of the show. I feel like for the first time in a while, auto shows are back.
But you know, for the auto shows, it really is about that touch and feel, getting in a car and feeling what it's like, right?
The floor is full of cars, and that's a surprise after we're coming out of the pandemic. We keep saying we're coming out, but it's fuller this year.
I'm seeing more cars, more halls open, and more smiles.
All right, let's talk cars. Let's start right here behind us, the Lexus RZ.
Carbon neutral is their big thing at Lexus. This is going to be their first BEV. 220 miles on a single charge. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a big deal for them. They've been very much about the plug-in hybrid. They've resisted going full electric. Their whole mantra, though, is the greener planet, and this is the leap forward.
My conversation with Toyota was all about batteries, and they said that they want to commit to offering their consumers choices. So here we have all electric, they have a new Prime.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now, if I talk about Prius as a whole, I have criticized them in the past for their exterior styling, right? When you're on the freeway and you see a Prius, you kind of, well, it's kind of ho-hum. And then you see the new Prius and Prius Prime and you go, okay, for the first time, I can get behind this incredible styling. A consumer, they want to fall in love with how a car looks. Then they want to think about the performance, right? 57 miles a gallon. I mean, you're going to get great range with this vehicle. A lot of automakers, they put all their chips into the game of electrification. Toyota is smart. They're thinking about how the future is going to evolve around what the customer wants. So that means hybrids, it means plug-in hybrid electric vehicles like the Prime, and it means the BEV vehicles as well.
There's another electric here. Hyundai introduced their Ioniq 6. I had a chance to take a look at it. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It has a very unique look on the rear. They call it a streamliner look. I think Hyundai is driving the industry.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time behind the wheel of the Ioniq 5, and to see the new Ioniq 6, I get more excited. We're talking about styling. I think it's such a beautiful exterior from a vehicle standpoint. The design is flawless, but it's going to be all about that drivability, and I think it's a hands-down winner for them.
There's something that's really important about this car. Americans want three things out of electric cars. They want a good price, meets that. They want good charging. They've teamed up with Electrify America, it meets that. And they also want a good range, and it meets that. So the three things Americans are asking for, they've got in the Ioniq 6.
Okay, we have other products. I want to talk about small cars for a second because, you know, they often get overlooked, but they are a very important aspect for any auto show. There's a lot of people that come here, they want to see all the eye candy, but when it comes down to it, they're shopping for a small car. I took a look at the Nissan Versa. I'll tell you what, you get a lot of styling for a small car like that in a nice tight package, and it's safe. That's a big deal.
The best part about it is the price. 4 trim levels, all under $20,000. I mean, you're looking at north of 15 grand to get it into that vehicle as a starting price. It's a home run for Nissan. Everyone wants to find affordability in the market right now, with the average price of a car being somewhere around $48,000. Now you're going to be looking at a vehicle that I can think about for my son or my daughter as they get ready to drive, something that is affordable, most importantly, what you just said, incredibly safe.
Speaking of safe, how about the Subaru Impreza? All the Subarus, they're so solid, they're made so well, and they're very, very strong. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, all-wheel drive, that symmetrical all-wheel drive, still another home run for them.
Another vehicle out there that I know you took a look at, the Dodge.
The Hornet, everyone goes, small car, Dodge doesn't work. They made it work, and it's still a Dodge. Still has the DNA, looks like a Dodge, drives like a Dodge. And here we've got something else. We've got a utility vehicle that is the quickest and the fastest vehicle for under $30,000. It's a plug-in hybrid, over 280 horsepower. This is ridiculous for the price. And a real Dodge, a muscle car. That's incredible.
It is. All right, guys, is there any other car you...
Mustang! You have to talk about Mustang.
I knew if I teased it, I'd find it.
Yeah, of course. You have to talk about the Ford Mustang, right? And I spent a lot of time over in the Ford booth checking out what vehicles they have. Here's what's really unique is that I had a chance to look at both the EcoBoost, the 5-liter, which is the GT, and then, of course, the Dark Horse, right? You've got 3 different versions to choose from. But here's what's unique. The Camaro and the Challenger, guess what? They're going electric. Ford has said, hold on guys, we're gonna stay with a gas-based version of the Ford Mustang, and they're gonna be shooting for 500 horsepower with that Dark Horse.
Wow, that's a lot. Well guys, it looks like that's all the time we have for Nick Miles, Mike Caudill, I'm Tor Dietrich. For our entire crew here in LA, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the road. For more on these cars, please visit OurAutoExpert.com.